Everyone, this is Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and I want to talk a little bit about, well, first let's say I'm on the Shito Mountain in Taiwan. It's raining right now. Beautiful here though, great weather, the misty mountains, maybe golems in here somewhere. But I want to talk about how Magic the Gathering Online is, they're changing how the leagues go. They're gonna merge the friendly leagues and the competitive leagues. And I have to say I'm really disappointed in that decision. I really don't like it. From my experience, the friendly leagues and the competitive leagues are completely different. Night and day they are different. And I can get a sense of what it's going to be like because of the legacy leagues. The player pool is small enough that they don't want to segregate segregate legacy into competitive and friendly. So basically, everyone is playing in a competitive league, but really it's just basically a merged version of friendly leagues and competitive leagues because the friendly casual players have nowhere else to go, so they have to play in the competitive legacy league. And it puts a lot of soft players in the player pool. And for someone like myself, who doesn't have a team, that I don't have access to pro player, a lot of pro players to play test with, I depend on competitive leagues to make sure I have the sharpest, most competitive modern Merfolk deck available to all of you so that I am the best prepared for a Grand Prix. And now about half the player pool is going to be super casual. I really like there's so many distinctions between the friendly leagues and the competitive leagues. Like the competitive leagues, they've got pro players, all right? They've got really hardcore competitive players, people who are on the top trophy list of the month, people who win MOX qualifiers, people who make top 8 in the challenges. And they're playing the most razor sharp, hardcore, tier 1 decks that you want to be prepared for if you want to win a Grand Prix or any of your local events. Whereas in the friendly leagues have way more experimental decks, more budget decks, more janky decks. People are having more fun. As you see with my Troll Folk series, I can get away with a lot of very weird variation of decks because it's a friendly league and people the player skill is lower, the tier of decks are way lower. And you see me going 5-0, 4-1 with all these really janky lists that I'm certain that I'm not going to get away with in the competitive leagues because the players are significantly more serious, they're playing tighter, and they're playing much stronger decks on average. So my play testing in the competitive league is going to be significantly weaker because the player pools are now merged. Now, that's not to say I'm not going to be playing against those pros anymore or those other competitive players like myself. I still will. It's just that maybe for half the event I won't. I'm not sure exactly what Magic the Gathering, like what Wizards is going to do to the algorithm on Magic the Gathering Online in order for players like myself to play against other similar caliber players like myself. But I hope they do something that it still feels as competitive as it was before. Why are they making this change? They're doing it because it does sometimes take a long time to find a match. If you're in the friendly league or the competitive league, I'm very patient, so I really don't care about this. It may take up to a minute to find a match. You know, waiting in the queue for a league. So yeah, it can take up to a minute, maybe 2 to find a match. I can understand that might frustrate a lot of players, but I never heard of anyone actually complaining about it. Maybe people complain in secret. They send emails to Wizards. But anyway, it's not an issue for me, but it is a big issue that they're now going to merge the friendly leagues with competitive leagues. So now that they do that, the player pool is much more enormous. So the people are more likely to be paired up with somebody also waiting for a match. So that's why they're doing it. That's why Wizards said that they're going to be merging the friendly leagues and the competitive leagues. So what they're going to do now is the entry fee and the prizes are going to be something in between friendly league and competitive league prizing and entry. So instead of friendly leagues used to be 80 play points or 8 tickets. Competitive leagues was 120 play points or 12 tickets. Now it's just going to be 100 play points or 10 tickets. So they found the middle ground between the two. And the same thing with the prizing. It looks like the prizing is somewhere in between the two prizing of the other two leagues. So they found a middle ground in between the two. But overall, I'm not particularly thrilled about this. I think this is it's definitely going to be a blow to my play testing. Hopefully, maybe Wizards reconsiders, but that's their stance on this right now. Friendly leagues and competitive leagues are going to be merging on Magic the Gathering Online. There's a lot of other interesting changes that they're making. I do like. They're going to be changing the layout of the lobby. You know how you start by selecting. I think you want to play in a league. When you select the league that you want to play in or what game you want to play in, you first go to like constructed, then you go to league, and then you pick modern. Like, that's stupid. So now they're gonna have it changed to what format do you want to play first, and then you get to choose what variation, what's available for modern, what's available for standard. So you select the format first, and then you're gonna be selecting everything else. But and then the layout's gonna look better. They're making it more look like Arena, which I'm fine with. Let's adopt as many good ideas from Arena as possible. But I don't like this merging of the friendly leagues and the competitive leagues. That's gonna make it harder to find the truth. The true Merfolk deck. That's gonna be making it way harder to find what's the real 75. What is the real deck? Because if I have a winning list in a competitive league, I know that's the real deck. Whereas if I have a winning list in a friendly league, that just gives me an indication of maybe this has potential in a competitive league, but it does not indicate that the list is top tier competitive. Anyway, those are my thoughts on that. How do you feel about this news? It's not exactly widespread news. I don't think there's a lot of buzz around it, but if you're interested, now you know. So anyway, this has been Nikachu, Merfolk Master, talking about the merging of the friendly and competitive leagues on Magic the Gathering Online.